There's a lot of paradigms on how to understand the internal aspects. I'll have my own, okay? It's a combination of experience and then academic study. And that makes a unique perspective. In other words, if you only study one end of the Silk Road, or even less, what your teacher said, like your teacher's lineage, the text related to your teacher's lineage, it's very small. Okay? So it adds a very unique perspective. And a problem that is very common and that you might have is that you adopt a mechanical understanding of things. Very machine-like. The machine-like worldview is ego tripartite worldview. And you should, at the second you spot this machine model, you should just immediately go, it's wrong, that's not right. And you should strive constantly to subvert the machine model where it doesn't make sense. So in the machine model of the internal aspects, this is why a lot of people try to talk about its connective tissue or its fascia, right? Or then you have other people go, no, there's chi, but chi's just electricity or electromagnetic forces. They're looking for a machine model. And they give chi. You have other subtler paradigms, but it's still a machine model. So chi's real, and like it has material space. It's not electricity, it's not magnetism, it's not fascia, but you still pay attention how they're using it, and it still has a materiality to it that is part of a machine model, and this is not accurate. Okay? If you study out the whole technology of self, it's not accurate. So one of the things that I say that usually goes past you is that you cannot, no one ever can, no one ever has separated mind from chi. And I don't try. They interchange it, I don't care. However, mind is not what we might think of mind. Like a lot of people think mind is intention. But that's a machine model. That's not what I mean. Or some people will think mind is what Freud said or what Jung said. No, that's not what I mean. Or some people will think it's what Ian McGilchrist is saying. He's got the two hemispheres of the brain. It's like, that's a machine model. It's a machine model. That's not it either. You have to figure out, what do you mean by mind? Well, I mean ego tripartite mind, or I mean God mind. And sometimes I use the synonym experience. Experience being, mind, chi, same thing. And you pick the Upaya term you need to use to get the practitioner there. Where's there? Away from the machine model. Okay? So we're going to again take another stab at this with that preface. Don't get trapped in the machine model. Okay? And we're not going to separate chi and mind. We know we're going to form a tanden. But the tanden, as I understand it, is not in a location in your body. And you don't make a location in your body. So you have people like in Aikido, and they just say you use your tanden. Everyone has it. You might have other people like Damo who will say, no, you learn how to form it, but it's actually in your body. And I say no. Okay? The tanden is a manifestation of a process. It's only there as long as the process is being utilized. Okay? And the process is that you're going to internalize yang aspect. Notice I didn't say yang electricity, yang force, or even yang chi. Just yang aspect at this point. The yang aspect is going to be ground vectored off the ground. This transforms it. I don't know why, it just does. It starts a yin aspect to that yang aspect. It converts it. It comes back up and it meets the continuing internalizing yang aspect, and it meets it in the midsection of the body. And when those two meet, that's the Tanden. Where this is in your body, where the two meet, it is either gross or subtle depending on your skill. Which means your ability to perceive it, to experience it, your mind, awareness of it. So right now your awareness is really low. You don't know what to feel for. That's what it is. And you could say, as if you had a machine model, you would say, oh, I'm thickening the chi. That's a machine model, and there's a materiality to the chi there. And I say, no, that's not it. It's more that your mind is more aware, more capable of sensing it, and it feels and acts as if it is thicker than for someone else who is just, I can't feel it at all, to someone a little more aware, a little more skilled, that goes, oh, I have a wisp of it. I felt it. It's like a wisp of it. When you are more advanced, it's like feels thicker. I can barely touch it, where another person might not feel it at all, but I feel like I'm touching a brick wall and I can move from there. But there's obviously no brick wall, and there's no true thick or thinness. There's just the experience of thick or thinness. Okay? At the beginning, I think sometimes we get confused because this yin-yang aspect is constantly functioning. It's just we're not aware of it. And it alters according to actual physical forces. This is why, for example, you use your hands. Your hands as mudra, right? Well, they're taking shape in space. But as they're taking shape in space, they're generating physical forces, centripetal forces, centrifugal forces, right? And they're changing the center of gravity of my body. And this moves those yin and yang aspects. And at the beginning, you don't feel that. A lot of people don't even feel the centrifugal or the centripetal forces in Aikido. Even though you're doing circles, they just don't feel it. They don't feel the blood go to their fingertips, you know. And then as you get more trained, oh yeah, I could feel it. I could feel there's a force pulling the uke out, and boom, that's the force I'm going to use when I throw them, right? They can feel that force. The beginner, they can't feel it. They just picture the throw from what they're doing. But those forces will move this yin and yang aspects, okay? And we're moving them when we move our hands, when we move our arms, when we lower our center, we're moving them. And the more you are aware of it, and the thicker it feels, again, a poetic, it's not that I am so much moving my arms as much as that thing's moving my arms. Okay? But we're going to reverse it at the beginning because it is interrelated. Okay? So we're doing Tai no Henko, and what we're trying to do here is get those centripetal forces going. Okay? That's what we're trying to do. Trying to feel those forces. Okay? Those are more gross than the chi. The chi is more subtle. You want to be able to feel those. Okay? So when you're doing Tai no Henko, there's several things that you're trying to do. You're not just going. Or I'm not just exercising. I'm trying to feel these forces. So, a couple of things. If you can, already feel the gravitational pull of your mass. That's a force. feel it, because that's what you end up using all along. So you can start there. I feel that, and I feel his energy, and I add that energy down. Okay? I feel that. I can feel for the spiraling movement of the mudra. Don't confuse. I'm just going slow so I can talk and you can see it. Bring your breath into it. Receive, inhale. Settle, exhale. Settle, feel it, drop. Open Lao Gong on the hands. Look how they'll aim at each other. Start to feel for his body. The eyes don't look around. The eyes that see is the ego tripartite mind. Don't look. You want to have Zazen eyes. It doesn't matter on the version, I go forward and in, or I turn in. Doesn't matter. Martially, this part, this entry is key. Make sure it's happening in the right place. It happens here, back behind this corner. Here. Fourth. Elbows heavy. Put your elbow weight on your midfoot vector. Hold your hands on your midfoot vector. Shoulder on your midfoot vector. This pivot is the only other martial aspect in here. The Inini timing and the single pivot. So don't slack on that. You see that? When you're uke, stalk. Low, hunting, killing mind. Killing mind. Low, feel their tanden. But surrender. The killing mind is a surrendering mind. Surrender unto death. So as I'm walking into here, I don't give a crap what happens to my body. That's the stalking mind. Such that he hits me in the body, I don't care. Do it hard. It doesn't matter. So you're already loaded with that kokyu. You're already loaded with it. It's just I now aren't the active agent in the technique. Do you understand? I surrender unto injury, death, in Let him decide when the technique's done. Then back out, protect yourself, stalk in. Okay? Train like that. Not with that other goofy stuff. And get this centrifugal forces pulling on those yin and yang aspects. Okay? Try it. Okay, so remember I said at the beginning of this, I'm already using my material aspect. My material aspect is an amplification of the yang aspect. It's always there. It's always there. So the poetics is heaven's always pressing down on you. God's always pressing down on you. Okay? But I'm going to use my materiality in conjunction with that because I can't feel that. I can't feel that yet. But I can feel my own mass first. Okay? And that's what I feel first. Well, maybe I can't feel that. So I'm going to add to it. I'm going to add his mass to it. Do you see? I'm trying to make what is extremely subtle to the mind, the untrained mind, more gross so I can start to sense it. And then I started rotating it. You see? I started rotating it in Taino Hanko. You know, I now want to get it down. I want to get it down. I want to take it from top and I want to get it down. Down, up, down. Take it, boom. I'm trying to amplify that so I can feel it. And that's Shomen Suburi. So already in your stance, your own mass, you should already be able to do it. Just like when we do our standing meditation, I don't even need to lower my center of gravity. Okay? The chi drops, it'll drop. Every time on me, my lower spine just goes. Okay? But clearly, I'm not moving. It's inside. I can't feel that. Well, let's lower your center of gravity a little bit more. And let's get your legs out of the way. That's what you're doing. Well, let's add some weight to it. You see? And I'm going to physically make the physical center of gravity go up and down in my body because it will affect those yin and yang aspects. So as I'm coming up, down. And so as I'm doing this though, in the same way that I release and stack my own mass on the ground vector, everything, all these amplified forces, I do here as well. I don't want to sit here. This is not, what the fuck is that? Okay? The same way that my spine cracked and pulled on itself without me doing anything overtly physical, something happened inside. The more gross I get, I need some grossness to help me, but if I just stick on that, I'm not going to get there. So as you're doing this, feel this. Feel this. Feel that tip heavy. Put the tip on your midfoot vector. And as it goes up, slightly come up. That's enough. The center of gravity is going up with my hands going up, with the tip going up. But bring it up a little with your body. That's enough. Inhale. Then let it drop. I'm not breathing to make it some weird Tibetan Buddhist exercise. I'm not. My lungs open as my armpits open. I'm released, the air comes in. My lungs get pressed upon as my armpits close. I release, the air comes out. Go at your rate. Feel the center of gravity go up. Feel it go down. Okay? So now we're trying to get whatever you got with yin and yang, we're going to try to lower it. Now we're trying to get it down. Okay? Try it. Sit and sit. Okay, so in that, so far if you pay attention on the Tai no Henko drill, where I'm going to use centripetal energies to bring some grossness to this, what is not mechanically subtle or thin, but mind hard to sense. Okay? Mind hyphen hard hyphen to hyphen sense. Okay? In that one, though, I said you're taking your own mass and stacking it, so you're already amplifying what I said is always already happening. And then in the Shomen Suburi drill, the same thing. I said you're stacking yourself, and then you're amplifying it. So you have your shoulder weight, your elbow weight, your hand weight, but also the tip of the sword is all being used to magnify, amplify, make more sensibility to this, to these forces, okay? So we're going to do it here. As he's sitting, he's going to use his own physicality. He's going to let his head, his spine sink, drop. Because we want the chi not blocked. We want the chi down. Why do we want the chi down? The chi has to go down so that it gets alchemically treated. When it gets alchemically treated, your ego tripartite mind just takes a back seat, stops driving the bus, deconstructs, however you want. We want that. To this, he can add his shoulders as a upaic pointer. You should feel your shoulders where you feel your ground vector right now. You should feel your elbows, same thing. They hit that ground vector. Same thing with his eyes. He's not seeing. He's in this blankness of his gaze. He can use his hands. If he feels like, oh, that's making me lift my elbows, okay, he can come down here. But he puts his hand weight on that same thing. He puts his face skin on that same thing. Everything's dropping. Scan for tension. 2 key areas. This throat area behind. Well, I'm touching the surface, but it's inside. Got it? Tristan? Okay. And back here. Again, I'm touching the surface. It's inside more. Those you want to drop, to release, to take away all tension, to forfeit all control of them, to let them do what they're going to do on their own, as you're doing everything else. You start from there. Now we'll add the gross movements, but this you have to start from. Okay? So, the one we're going to do now, we'll use 2 hands for symmetry here. Just wait, I haven't told you what we're going to do. I'm going to push down on it, okay? And you're going to use your physical posture to keep your hands to support my weight. Got it? Okay, so you feel that? So don't let your hands go down. There you go. Okay. Now, to keep this, don't let your hands go down. Pay attention to your ground vector point. Do you feel the weight is on there? You're using it. Do you get it? Okay, go back to just your weight and put it on that ground vector spot again. And let it all drop. Pay attention to those two spots. Forfeit them. Very much like uke, forfeits their physical wellness. You forfeit control of these spots. And then we'll do it again. Hands come up. Feel your ground first. Don't wrestle yet. Just bring your hands up to here. Now feel this weight of your lifting your hands. The weight of your own hands, put it on that ground vector too. Leave your hands here. Then I'm going to add, don't lean back this time, but as if you were about to. Do you understand? Put that in your hands. Now I do want you to lean back, like mechanically. There you go. Well, you don't have to come so awake in your consciousness. Good. And then come back and feel it before you lift it, but it's there, ready to be lifted. Right? Ready to be lifted. Ready to be lifted. Put your shoulder weight on that same place that you're putting my finger weight. Your elbow weight on that same place. And without lifting it, I want you to think that you're going to lift it externally. There you go. Great. Did you notice when you came back and you went physical that you like almost woke back up? Were you guys able to see that? Because that external activates that ego tripartite mind. You come out of, I don't want to call it a trance state, but you're not in that ego tripartite mind state, okay? And you can see how it was like someone threw cold water on him, kind of came out of it right away, okay? So when you do that first one, see if you have to do that or not. You don't have to do it so much, okay? Really key is this person. And then we're taking advantage of his imagination because we don't have the skills yet. We're going to use it, okay? The first one, I'll just repeat now what I'm doing. He's going to stack his own weight on there. The next one, I'm giving him weight, and he's going to use his external fulcruming to go down, to lift keep his hands up. Do you get it? But I draw his mind to the ground vector. Then I let him go back. Set it up again. Then we come up again. We're going a little fast for him, but okay. And then I touch, and he is like he's gonna fulcrum, but doesn't. It's pre-lift. This is your pre-push. Do you get it? I was telling you the other day. What the pushable is what you want, not the push. It's liftable now. Do you see? And then I let him go ahead and do it externally. He lifts it up, leaning back, feels his ground pop. Cool. And now I'm going to have him come back, line everything back up, and go back to the pre-lift. There you go. And my weight, with your shoulder weight, with your elbow weight, with your hand weight, is already just dropping down straight. Free your throat. that back spot. And rest. Good. Now don't stay there. You see how your skin is stretching. See that? See there's the adhesion. Keep it there. Keep that adhesion feeling. And you can actually move me now. If you just keep it, slowly move my fingertips towards you. Pull me back with your hands. Yes, you see? You see? There it is right there. Okay? You don't have to do the last one. Okay? Alright, here we go. Okay, so again, we're using external forces to create some more sensibility to what we're trying to sense, okay? His hands are back out. Let's see how fast you can do it. It should feel like, or it can feel like oil. Like I take a cup of oil and I spill it, and it starts to spread. It should feel like that. Okay, you'll just feel it go. Okay, and your hands are up. Feel that in the same mechanics. Bring your hands up. Bring them in a little bit more. And then your weight of your hands is doing the same thing. Don't forget those two spots. Okay. And now we're going to come underneath. Okay. And I'm going to lift, but you're going to take that, all your mass right now, and keep your hands heavy. Take my lifting onto it. You're going to feel the skin. You see? Right there. So here, don't change anything, okay? Here's what I mean by that. I say right there. The adhesion is right there. You can put your fingers straight if you want, and then I can feel it. You feel it?
All right.
You see? Very good. So that's what you're trying to feel. That's his coaching, okay? Go back to it. Let the oil spill and spread downward through your body. Your hand weight is down and not letting me lift you. There you go. And there it is right there. You feel it? And if you pull your hands back, you'll pull me towards you. Yes. Yeah. There you go. See? Good. Okay. No, you took it off. Leave it on. Okay. And now, leave it there, and I want you to push me back. Slowly push me back to where I was. Up. Yep. There it is. Up it goes. Keep going till I'm up. There you go. And then I want you to take me forward again. Keep it. Again. It's fine. Let the oil spill down. Okay. Take away the hooks. It's on my fingertips. There you go. Okay. And push me back. Slowly. Careful when you change directions. Don't shut it off when you change directions. You're going to go back now without shutting it off when you change directions. Yeah, there you go. And back forward. Without shutting it off, and back forward. That's it. Now we'll just hang here and keep the same feeling. Don't go into sleepy. It's not sleepy. Keeping it. So you can see that I can do the same. Okay. As you guys are doing this, I'm having him do it, but obviously it's happening to me as you get too. Okay. And so as his ego tripartite mind drops, as Naga's ego tripartite mind drops, yours will drop. So you stay in that same alchemical organization. And there's as much as he, again, stays in that trance, you'll feel that come on to you. And that's what you felt last time, Margaret. Okay? So when I was leaving you for long periods of that game, neither push nor pull, that had your ego tripartite mind drop, and you felt the ecstasy of that process. Okay. Okay. So again, he and I not so much, because he's getting it. But what we're doing in these drills, and it's fine that you guys are, is I'm using external forces to get you in the ballpark, okay? Such that on this last drill, I'm lifting, you see, and as long as he keeps his hands down, it generates a friction there. Do you get it? But at the end there, I'm barely touching him like now. I'm not lifting at all. And you can feel the same stick is there. You see? Which is, you can see how relaxed we are, but you can see that you still have it. And that's what you want to get to. Okay? So if you're like, I still feel slippery, right? I still feel, then just tell them to push more to generate more of that, the physical adhesion that comes from two contrary forces pushing on each other. But obviously that's not what we're after, okay? But there's some things here to pay attention to, okay? So you'll be the Naga, okay? And I'm going to let him do it at whatever level he wants, so I'm not lifting on him at all. He's just resting on me, okay? If he stays there and I try to pull my hands back, what do you feel the force increase? Do you see that? And because of how I'm trained to pull my hands back, it's going into my center. And you should feel your center going too. You do feel the pressure increase at the contact point at the hands, but you should feel your ground vector get heavier. You see that? You feel that? Okay, so I'm going to increase it if you couldn't feel it, and you'll feel the ground vector get heavier on your body, okay, as it starts to pull on your center. You see that? I'm pulling him now, okay? So now I'm going to go back and give you back control. Take it back. Okay. More. Hands down. Weight of the hands down. Mind lifting, pressure down. There it is. Okay? So now we'll go back to what I want to say. As I try to pull my hand back, it just moves me, it's pulling on my center, making me go forward, as long as he holds that there. He holds the relationship. Does not freak out on my pull. It starts to move me forward. You pay attention, I'm moving more forward. Don't let your hands move. Keep your hands still. Keep your hands still in space. As if I'm pulling there it is. And you see, as I pull my hands, pressure's increasing, it's just making me move forward. Okay? I'm gonna let you experience it. Okay? So there's this, you feel the skin? Okay, and you're gonna try to move your hands back. And you're gonna try to make your hands go that way, okay? And you're gonna feel, there's the increase in the hand contact pressure, see? And you can see that he's moving forward, he starts to move forward, okay? And that's stuff that you could exaggerate as you do like the kokyuge, okay? And that doesn't happen if he just grabs my arm. Do you see? He just grabs my arm because I can pull that. It doesn't make me pull forward. Do you get it? Let's say he holds it really, really strongly, right? And you're like, well, that would, yeah, but it takes more strength on him to do that, right? The other one didn't take any strength, it just happens. And as he increases his strength with his pull, because he doesn't have my center, then I could change my leverage, do you see? And then externally, and that's what all grapplers do, okay? He would be looking for mechanical advantage, and I would look for mechanical advantage. And what the energetic does, it goes wherever you're looking for your mechanical advantage by repositioning your center, it actually gets moved by me as you reposition your center. Okay? That's what happens. That was the point I was telling you at the end, Virginia. Like, you moved into the projection point, not me bringing you in. Okay? All right. Same thing if I'm here. Get it again. Put your weight, put everything, put my lifting on your mid-vector. Spill the oil down your body. Come on. More pressure on your hands down. Press down. Press down on your hands. There. Okay. Get the stick and now hold it still in space. So I can't pull it and I can't push it. I think I'm gonna push you. There it is. Okay, so the same thing as I go to push, you see what's happening. I feel it in my feet, I feel it in my center, and I'm just pushing myself away is what's happening. There it is. Whereas if we're here and he's just holding me like he's blocking me, then I can just push. Doesn't affect my center. Maybe it turns me, doesn't affect my center. Okay? So you feel it, okay? You try and push harder. And look at his knees. Okay? That's why if you pay attention in the kokyuke, he will not push on me. Okay? Because he knows that as I push on him, I'm just gonna get projected out. Correct? Oh, you bastard. Okay? But it's making me better at the adhesion part, the pulling energy, the controlling energy, okay? That's why he's like, don't push, okay? All right, let's go to another one. Make it even more grosser because we're gonna ask more of it. And this is the first, the second Aikido drill, okay? So, he's gonna lift up. So there's more mass there, do you see? And he's gonna lift up on his arms. And so as he's lifting, you hold, just like you were here and I was lifting and he put that organization in place. He's lifting, you're noggin me. You're gonna feel the same, you do the same organization, okay? And you make him lift, keep lifting, and then you just move you keep lifting no matter what, and you move that forward. Okay? At this time, we're gonna move our body. Start in front. You can start lower if you want. He lifts. I don't want you hooking. Here, pull it. You can't have one rate, okay? It's a feeling. So here I can have one rate, but as his radius changes on his shoulders, you have to change that to keep it to where the friction works for you. I'm slipping. Keep the feeling. Okay, try it. Go. Alright, so as you come around, there it is. Right there. The same energy. Put your arms together. That he's lifting up, and I generate that same friction, the adhesion, by the same organization. I am going to do here. Stay there. Come to the other side, Margaret.
Hi.
It's right here. So my mass down. His mass down on my ground vector. The centrifugal energy down. Okay? And that, don't grab. That's what you use. And it's going to change as you cut the angle and as he's falling, okay? It changes, so the feeling is what you want. The feeling. You feel it on your face. Out. So you have to move to keep the feeling. You have to lower to keep the feeling. You have to rotate to keep the feeling. You have to be in the right place to keep the feeling. At the right time to keep the feeling. Okay? This way. Oh. I only wanted to actually concentrate on the adhesion part, okay? But this hand's a spiral, and we're spiral. Don't grab him, don't cut down. It goes around, okay? And after it goes around, it comes back this way, okay? It's gonna come back this way. It'll never get there, but that's what it's doing. So you dive over, and you're here like this, okay? This is that same adhesion. Don't chase the mechanical. Release your hand, and do this. You'll have that same adhesion it's doing. But together the two forces are doing it. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Boom. This force is doing it right there. You see? It's taking them that way. It's not taking them this way. Boom. Contact point. Okay, on the adhesion, you can do this when you make a big one, because you kept the same radius. But that's not what I'm doing. You see that? This radius gets smaller. So it starts big, but then instead of going this way, it's going this way. And that's what takes his balance. So, boom, like this. You feel that? It gets smaller. Okay, try it. On 1 rep, he let go, but that it demonstrates a point, so we're going to tell him to let go. So we're here, he's going to let go. You're going to be able to do it. With the slightest angle, he lets go. It doesn't matter. Get the adhesion. So, boom. It's there because you have the adhesion, okay? You're going to keep the same technique. Let's go. You'll still have it. Let's go. Still have it. Okay? Try it.